Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and spirit directly through channeling about what this month has in store for you, March 2024. What's going to happen in this month and what is this month going to be like for you. And I have 4 groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, and this will be group number 3. And so I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can just pause the video. But if you don't need any more time, then just head down to the description box below and find the timestamp for your particular group and click on that, and your reading should appear in front of you. And while you're down there in the description box below, make sure to check out my guide on how to book a personal reading from me. I love doing personal readings for you guys. It's always a pleasure. So please check that out. But let's focus on this reading right here. Choose your group and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, group number 1, you chose this Jolanda Tarot deck. And I'm going to start with some channeling and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question? For group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1, what's going to happen in the month of March 2024 for group number 1? Okay, I'm sensing that there's going to be a celebration in March, maybe a birthday or a wedding or a jubilee or a baby shower or baptism or something like that. And I feel like you're gonna feel a little bit ambivalent about this celebration. There's going to be a part of this celebration that's going to be a little bit triggering to you, and maybe some of you don't even want to go. Like maybe some of you are tempted to just say no and stay home because that would make it a lot easier to just not go. You know, maybe this is a person, like the person who's going to be celebrated or the person who's having this celebration might be someone that you feel like is someone who has hurt you before, and someone who has maybe done nothing but hurt you your whole life. Maybe it's a birthday of someone close to you or someone in your family, maybe your father or mother or an uncle or someone who just has over and over again caused you some pain or caused you some grief or made you uncomfortable or made fun of you or criticized you for things that you couldn't really do anything about because it was just something that was out of your control or something like that, where this is someone who might have been very hurtful. And maybe you have a lot of anger towards this person, and maybe you feel like this person doesn't even deserve to be celebrated. Even if this person is turning 60 or 70 or something like that, you might feel like, yeah, it's a round birthday, but it would just be so much easier to just stay home and not have to go and not have to feel like a phony because you're going to have to act like you care about this person even though you don't. And it is hard to act like you care about someone and put on a fake smile and fake laugh at their jokes and act like nothing happened and act like this person hasn't been the worst person in the world your whole life. And this is one scenario. I feel like it's not necessarily gonna resonate with all of you, but like for others of you, this could be a wedding of someone that you don't like or someone that you actually like very much, but it might be triggering because you've maybe been in a relationship with this person, and maybe they have invited you to their wedding, which you feel like that's not at all what you want to be spending your time on, or something. I don't know what, or maybe it's someone that you were friends with, but maybe you felt like it was more than a friendship, and maybe they felt like it wasn't, or maybe they friend-zoned you or something. I don't know. Or it could be like a baby shower or baptism or something, where maybe this is going to be triggering for you. Maybe because you have a strained relationship to the person who's having a baby, or because just maybe you're afraid that you're going to have to talk about having babies. Like maybe you're afraid, like especially if it's a baby shower within your family, like if it's your sibling who is having a baby shower, and you just know that if you go, then your aunt or your uncle or someone in your family is going to be asking you when it's your turn and why you haven't gotten any children, or why, like, or something like that, where maybe you just know that this is going to happen, and you just don't want to go because you don't want to be asked these questions, even though you maybe want to celebrate this person, but it's just the whole thing might be really triggering, because you just know that it's not just going to be about them, that people are going to take the opportunity to interrogate why you are in the situation that you're in. And I feel like whichever scenario this is, I feel like maybe just go. I know that you shouldn't do anything that you don't want to do, but maybe it's okay to just go. Maybe the only thing where, like, the only example of the ones that I said before, like the only situation where I don't think you should go is maybe if it's an ex who is having a wedding with someone else and you feel like it's even awkward that you got invited to begin with. Then don't go, because nobody expects you to go. So that's maybe a hassle that you can just, scratch that. Nobody needs to go through that. But if it's a birthday of someone in your family, or if it's a baptism or a baby shower or a jubilee or something like that, or a wedding within the family, who is not an ex or not someone that, but someone, like if it's your cousin who's getting married or something like that, then go. Because I feel like if you don't go, people are gonna be talking about that, and people are gonna have an opinion about that, and they are gonna make you out to be the villain because you don't want to go. That so that's maybe better. Like, I think it's better to just do it. And it's okay to feel ambivalent about it. It's okay to feel your feelings. If you're angry with the person, or if you are triggered by this celebration, accept those feelings, acknowledge those feelings, because I feel like if you acknowledge the feelings, they are not going to take control over you, where I feel like some of you might suppress your feelings a little bit to the point where they might bubble up to the surface in times where it's not a, like, I feel like I don't know how to explain this, but like I feel like you could probably, or some of you could end up having like an outburst if you don't acknowledge these feelings beforehand, before going to the celebration. Like, it might catch you off guard, but So just be prepared for this. Of course, now I said you should go, but the problem is that there could also be a conflict if you go, but there's also going to be a conflict if you don't go. So the best chance of there not being a conflict is if you go and make sure that you don't say anything or do anything that's going to cause a conflict, and you're going to want to, especially if it's a birthday or a jubilee of someone in your family, because I feel like the person who is the person, like there might be I don't know if it's a person who's being celebrated or someone else in your family, but there's definitely going to be someone who's going to say something to you, and you're going to be like, here we go again. Like, have nothing changed? Like, why are you having this same conversation over and over again? And every time you get so tired of it, because it's such a rude question or such a rude conversation that this person always ends up opening up with you. Like it's something where this person is there's going to be a feeling of you just having enough, where you're going to, like, I feel like you're very calm and collected usually. I feel like many of you are probably thinking right now that you can't picture yourself having like an outburst at a celebration, and maybe you can't, and maybe that's because you haven't, and maybe that also means that for some of you this message might not be for you. But I feel like even for those of you who can't imagine this, I think everybody has a breaking point. And if someone keeps repeating the same rude question over and over again, and has been doing that for the past 10 years, you're going to snap at some point, you know. And maybe make sure, maybe, like, even though of course you can't really control this, I get that, but maybe just think about it. So, or mentally prepare yourself for this. I don't know if it's going to make any difference. Maybe talk on the phone with someone beforehand, like someone that you know very well, and someone that you can trust completely, someone where you feel natural around them and can tell them anything. If you talk to someone like that before you go to the celebration, maybe you can kind of talk this through beforehand, so that it's not going to be something that's bottled up inside of you, so that it's not like, if you get it up to the surface beforehand, so and maybe process it a little bit, and maybe laugh at it a little bit with someone else, or try to, like, because someone else, like the person that you could be talking to beforehand, could maybe, you know, make jokes about it, and maybe it could lift the mood a little bit, where you can maybe look a little bit more lightly on it, even though it is tiring and annoying, and not just annoying, it seems very triggering and painful. But the thing is that I just feel like if you have an outburst at this celebration, even if you have all the reason to have this outburst, like the best reason in the world, that even if it's so justified, there might still be some people at that celebration who are going to be looking at you and seeing you as the villain, and kind of calling you out as if you were the one who ruined the party, because you might be putting someone in their place, like speaking up for yourself and fighting for your right to be there. Because in a way, I feel like you have to stay away because of this person, because you feel like this person constantly attacks you or says something rude to you, and maybe you feel like you have to win back your power to actually be there, because you have all the right to be there too. And so why should that person ruin it for you? But I think people are going to get it twisted, and they're going to somehow side with this person and feel so sorry for them, and there's going to be a whole pity parade for this person if you snap. So just have that in mind. Maybe prepare yourself. Maybe start practicing your acting skills, and act like nothing bothers you, even though everything bothers you, and everything has all the right to bother you, because it's bothersome, you know. But yeah. But it's maybe better to wait, you know, and maybe have that in mind when you're having this conversation with this person where you just want to bite their head off, because, you know, when you're having this conversation, think about it while you're having it, that you're just waiting, you're just postponing it, that you want to tell this person that they need to stop doing this, and that they are being rude and all of that. You want to say that to them, but just tell yourself that it's a delay, like you're delaying it, you're postponing it to the next day, the day after. Because the funny thing is that people are going to see you as the villain if you call this person out on their bullshit while they are at this celebration, because people are going to see that as you being mean, especially if this person is the one being celebrated. Then people are going to get mad over that you ruined the party for them. But if you do it the day after, nobody's going to care. And especially if you do it in private, they might not even know about it. So make sure you do it the day after, or the day after that, or whatever, but don't do it during the celebration. And not because you need to walk on eggshells around this person, not because you don't want to hurt their feelings on their birthday or whatever. It's not about them. It's about you. It's about, like, I just want you to protect yourself from the people who will somehow be triggered on this person's behalf. These people who don't give a shit, don't give a fuck about this person. Like they it's not about them feel like this whole pity parade. It's not going to be because they feel so much empathy for this person who's being celebrated. It's more like a need to call someone out, a need to have like someone be the scapegoat. And I think at the end of the day, they couldn't care less about this person, and so it's not like they just want to appear as if they are good by calling someone out for their bad behavior, that it makes them feel like they are somehow superior. So it's, at the end of the day, it's just like, don't feel bad, because these people don't care either. They didn't want to go to the party either. They wanted to stay at home. And especially, like, if you say you don't want to go, people are going to lose their shit about it, because they don't want to go either. So they feel like it's not allowed to stay at home. Like they feel like you're cheating, that's just a cop-out, that you're just having it easy, and that's going to be the part that's going to trigger them, is that you're going to be allowed to, like, that you're giving yourself permission not to go when they can't give themselves permission not to go. because because they feel like they are obligated to do so. And if you don't feel that obligation, they feel like you're cheating the system. So, yeah. I'm going to shuffle and see what the cards have to say about your March, the month of March, for group number 1. What's going to happen in the month of March for group number 1? Okay, 5 of Cups. So you're maybe going to get a little bit disappointed by some people. Like, some people are going to get on your nerves, and this like it this can be avoided if you try to just be a good sport. And maybe, like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes it's good to just, like, especially if there's a person in your life who is very annoying, kind of triggering, and kind of like a little bit of a pain in the ass to be around. If someone like that is around you, it's maybe okay to just say whatever they want to hear. Just tell them what they expect. Like, if they tell you about how much of a sacrifice they're always doing for everybody else, and that they don't get enough credit for all the things that they do for others, and how nice they are to everyone, and how everybody, like, that no one is ever repaying the favor, and they are always just doing everything. Well, first of all, obviously, most of you or all of you know that this person is probably the opposite of how they talk about themselves. That this is all bullshit. This person never does anything for anyone, and they like, sometimes the people who talk about how empathetic they are and how they're always thinking about everybody else, they usually don't. And yeah, maybe you're gonna want, like, I feel like maybe in the month of March, you're gonna want to say to this person that, well, or maybe ask them some critical questions, like, what is it really that you do? Like, what do you actually do for others? What are you talking about? Who have you been helping? You know, what big sacrifices have you been making? What are you even talking about? You never give any examples. So what is this? If you say that to them, they're gonna get really, really upset with you, and not just with you, or only with you, but not just to you. They're going to be upset with you to others as well. So this is going to be something that they are going to be talking to everyone about, because this person lacks attention. So if you're feeding them a reason to have a pity parade, they're going to take that. Like, yeah, That's exactly what they want. They want other people to feel bad for them, and oh, that person is just so mean to you. Oh, it's so sad that this like whatever. But this person is going to take that as an opportunity. They're going to make the most of it, and so you better believe that what like it's they're gonna be using every word that you say to them, and they're gonna tell them it, and they're gonna make like an ant to an elephant. Like they're gonna make it even bigger and bigger, and suddenly you've said terrible things to the like, because this person will just be adding more to the story, and so don't get on this person's bad side, because they're gonna be talking about this to everyone, and to the point where some people will maybe even think that you've done something horrible, and might even accuse you of elder abuse or something because of this. I don't know if this person is an elderly, but you know, I'm just sensing that this could end up biting you in the butt, even though you're going to be doing, like, even though when you do it, or if you're going to do it, I advise you not to do it. But if you ask this person some critical questions without actually being mean about it, but just asking out of curiosity, this, like, even if you're going to do it in the most polite way possible, this person is going to turn it around, twist it around, and make sure everyone knows what a mean bitch you are. So don't do that. Don't do that, because that's just, I think the last thing you need in the month of March is a conflict. So just, when this person starts bragging about all the things that they do for everybody else, just say that, yeah, that it must be so hard for them. Just agree with them, and maybe even offer your help with and say, oh, is there anything I can do for you? Because now you're so helpful to everyone else. There must be something I can do for you, so that you can feel like you're getting something out of all the hard work that you do for everyone else. And just play into it. You know, play into the make-believe. And I think that's the only way to please this person. And this is also what they want. They want you to offer help, because that's what they need. They just, and you would probably want to help this person if they just asked you for help in a normal way, you know, instead of trying to do it the other way, where it just doesn't really, like, you can't guilt trip someone into helping you. Like, that's just not how it works. You need to humble yourself, and that's the only way, like the best way to do it. But I think guilt tripping someone into helping is more efficient, though. But just you're just gonna get kind of like a, yeah, it's just the outcome that might not be as good, because the person doing the help or might be so triggered and annoyed with it that they won't, that they will half-ass it and stuff like that. But I don't know. But just make sure that you're a fake phony in March. Do that. Be a fake phony. Fake everything in March. Every encounter that you meet, every conversation that you have with people, just be as as unauthentic as possible. Don't be honest. Be whatever people expect you to be, or try to adapt to whatever people want you to be and want you to do, and I don't know. I don't know if this is terrible advice, because of course you shouldn't be walking on eggshells. But maybe do that when it comes to certain people. I said before that you could just wait until there were no witnesses, and maybe that works too. Because if there's no witnesses when you tell this person what you actually feel, of course this person is going to tell everyone else what a mean person you are for saying whatever you're going to say to this person. But if they don't have any witnesses, then it's of course their story against your story. And I don't know, I still feel like people could still have a pity parade for this person, and I think it's, I don't know, maybe just walk on eggshells, just maybe for this month, the month of March. Just make sure that you're being a good sport. And I hate that message, but I feel like that's the message that's coming through. I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. I'm actually going to ask about your career. So I feel like I need to get into something else, because I've been only talking about this thing. And of course it's probably important, but I want to know about your career too. Something about what's going to happen in your career. With the Four of Wands, I feel like your career is going to be thriving. I think you're maybe going to have like some kind of blessing in disguise happen, where it's going to be like something unexpected. Where maybe at first you're going to feel like it's not the best thing, but then you're going to realize within a few days afterwards, you're going to realize that this was actually exactly what you needed. And that this actually makes your career like a little bit like that. I don't know what this is going to be a big help for your career. I feel like your career is going to it's going to have like growth. There's going to be some growth. There's maybe going to be an increase in customers or clients. If you have customers or clients, if you don't have that, then I just feel like there's going to be an increase in work. And maybe this is going to be a blessing in disguise, in the way that like at first you're going to feel that this is too much, where you feel like you can't really keep up with it, that it's maybe also coming in at a time where you're focused on something else, and maybe you're going to feel like this wasn't really what you needed at the time, or that you're going to feel that way when it happens, that it's yeah, that it's a bad timing. But I feel like then you're going to realize that this was a blessing in disguise, that it actually happened on the complete right time, and that it was exactly what your career needed. So also with the pigeon here, there's like, this is a peace pigeon, and I'm sensing that there could also be someone that you're gonna have peace with, or like something where you're gonna maybe start start feeling better about some part of your job or some part of your career that maybe might have been bothering you before, but now you're gonna come to terms with it, and maybe also realize that it wasn't as bad as you initially thought it would be. Maybe it's a co-worker or someone that you're working with that maybe at first you didn't really like this person, but I think with time maybe you're adapting and realizing that there's good things about this teamwork that you two have with each other, that maybe it's actually efficient enough, and maybe even a blessing in disguise, you know. But I feel like maybe also during the month of March, it might also be a good idea to just be a little bit fake also at your workplace or during your job. That, I don't know, but maybe it's not a good time to be too honest with the people you work with. That maybe it's good to adapt a little bit and adapt to what people expect. I don't know. I don't know if that's something you can, like. I feel like you already do that, so I don't think this is coming as like something big that you need to change, because I feel like it's not something you need to change, because you've already been doing that. I feel like you're maybe a little bit of a people pleaser, so maybe you are walking on eggshells at the moment. So walking on eggshells for a month more might not change anything, but I feel like it's just, you know, sometimes we have to just, you know, accept some people who are being mean to us, or even like there might be some people who you can't stand at your job, and that might just, the best way to get through this might just be to fake it and act like you're not being bothered by what they say or what they do. Even though, again, I feel like it's good to stand up for yourself, but I just feel like in this month it could backfire and make your life harder if you stood up for yourself. And maybe do it in the next month or something. I don't know, but yeah. I'm going to shuffle a little bit about your love life, just so we can cover everything in this reading. So what's going to happen in group number one's love life? Okay, with the Ace of Pentacles, it's going to be stable. It might be the same a little bit as it was in past month in February. It might be kind of the same. I don't think there's going to be any big changes in your love life. I feel like you're maybe also mostly going to focus on your career, and maybe you're not going to feel like you have the time for, like, especially if you're single, you're maybe going to feel like work is going to take up all your time, and maybe also this thing with your family or some friend or something like that this is going to take a lot of your time too, and maybe you're also going to have to process some things that happened in your past, because you're going to be triggered by this during this month, that you're going to feel like some ghosts from the past are going to reappear, and you're going to have to deal with that. And that's okay. Like, deal with it, heal from it. Healing takes time, and don't feel like you have to heal on a certain pace, because healing is different for everyone. There's no deadline. You don't have to be done with the healing at a certain time. You just have to do it in your pace. And nobody has, like, of course, if some people are gonna, like, maybe there might be some, and maybe this is what's gonna trigger you, is that someone is gonna come up to you and tell you that you should be doing this and that with your life. And they will maybe say to you that they only say this or only ask you these questions because they mean well, that they are just being nice to you. And if they tell you that you should stop being so passive or something, or that you should just lift your butt and start working, or, like, I don't know, I think you are working, but, like, lift your butt and start working towards a goal. Like, if you're single, there might be someone in your family who's going to say that it's just your fault, that you should just start putting in the work and changing your situation, that you have the control over your situation or something like that. And I don't know if I don't think this person necessarily means well. I think this person is more saying this out of their own, like, it could be because they were, like, sometimes people criticize others for things that they were criticized for. Like, if this is someone in your family who was kind of bullied into having a family, like the pressure that they were under when they were young, like they were maybe under tremendous pressure from everybody else and probably from society too, and they thought that the only way to go was to have children, and so they got married to someone that they didn't love and ended up getting children that they probably hated too, and that was the ideal scenario for them. That was the perfect outcome, because that was what society told them, that was exactly how it was supposed to be. And so if you come up and tell them that this is your choice and you choose to do things differently and you choose to wait, if that's what you're doing, then then of course that could be triggering to them too. Like, that they feel like you shouldn't have a choice because they didn't have a choice. So they might even feel jealous jealous because of the fact that you have free will on the matter, where they felt like they didn't. And so they just want everybody to be miserable too, because they are. So, yeah. I don't know if this even resonates with you, but I feel like it's maybe not the scenario for all of you. It might not be about having a family or having children for all of you. Like, maybe for some of you, this conversation that's going to happen might be about something completely different. Maybe about your education. Like, it might be someone might tell you that you should get an education, or might ask you, like, how is it going with that, or like that it's not good enough that you're having your own career. Like, maybe you're self-employed and maybe you've started your own thing, and maybe you don't need an education for the thing that you're doing right now, and maybe you're completely happy with this because you're a very creative person and you're very entrepreneurial, and maybe this is just what you need to do with your life because this makes sense to you. But maybe there's someone who has very traditional values, who believes that everybody should get an education and everybody should work as either a doctor or a lawyer or a nurse maybe not even a nurse, maybe that's not even good enough, but like that everybody should have like a job that is on their list of potential jobs that they think is okay for you to have. Like that there might be someone who really has high expectations and believes that only one thing is good enough or a few things are good enough, but if you don't follow one of those things, or if you don't fit into one of those boxes, then you're just out of the game. Then this person is just not gonna hear anything you say, or like they're not gonna listen to your reasons or your arguments to why you have chosen something different, because this person is very caught up in what they believe is the only right thing to do. And so, but of course this sounds like something that would trigger anyone. Like if someone comes up to you and starts criticizing your whole life and your choices in life, and does it in a condescending and degrading way, then of course you're gonna, like, your natural response is gonna be to put this person in their place, like, and you're gonna want to do that, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to do that, but just beware that this person might be a little bit toxic and might end up, spreading their poison everywhere they go, to the point where you're gonna have to explain yourself to a lot of family members, and this is gonna be a big hurdle and a big hassle for you to have to overcome, because you're gonna have to talk to all these people and explain yourself, and they are gonna have all these different versions of what they thought went on, like what went down between you and that person, because nobody's going to witness it possibly, but everybody's going to have like an opinion about it, even though like they don't really know half of it. But this is just social stuff, like this is just family stuff, I guess, or like, I don't know what it is, but it is a minefield. And I'm just going to tell you that it's not your fault. Even if you get in trouble, it's not your fault. I don't think I would have, like, the way that you're going to handle this, if you're going to handle it, like if it's going to happen in the worst case scenario that I can imagine here, like if you're going to say something to this person, I feel like what you're going to say is justified. I feel like I would have said the same thing, and I think many people would have said the same thing, and I think if there's going to be like a backlash, if people are going to be mad at you for this, just remember that it's not your fault. It isn't, and it doesn't matter how many people think it's your fault, because it's like these people, they have only one version, and if they don't want to listen to your version, then that's on them, because they should hear out both sides. That is their fault, that they haven't researched it enough and actually looked through it with unbiased eyes. That's on them. And yeah. So I think that's all I have for you. I hope this reading made sense. I hope it was helpful in any way, and yeah, it got a little bit long here. I hope I haven't bored you to death, but yeah, I'm gonna end the reading here because it's not gonna be an hour long. I feel like that's too long, so I'm just gonna end it now. And yeah, if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose this Cirque du Tarot tarot deck. And I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 2, the people who will choose group number 2? What's going to happen in the month of March 2024 for group number 2? Okay, I'm sensing that this could be a little bit of a heavy month. I feel like maybe you're going to be a little bit low on energy. And I think it's because either you have seasonal depression or a vitamin D deficiency, or maybe both. And I think there's no wonder that you're going to have low energy. I think this is very natural. And I think you need to be compassionate with yourself in this month, because you can't really do anything about this. It is a natural occurrence. A lot of people suffer from this. And I feel like the month of March can be very hard on a lot of people, because there is this expectation that March is, the month where the sun starts shining again, people start going a little bit more outside, and there's a little bit more of a light and bright and breezy energy going on, and people start posting things on Facebook where they start saying that, oh, I cleaned the car today because the sun was out and I had to enjoy the sun. I had to use the sun. I had to use this opportunity to do it while the sun was up. And there's this expectation that we need to get a lot of things done when the sun is up and when the sun is shining and when there's a little bit of warmth outside. And I think this expectation can also be counterintuitive. It's going to make a lot of people feel like it's a demand. It's something they have to do. It's like it's required of them that they need to go out and use the sun. And I feel like that's like maybe you're going to experience this a little bit during March, the month of March, that people around you suddenly have this energy boost, and you're going to feel shittier about yourself because you're not having it, because you have seasonal depression, or because you have a vitamin D deficiency that has been, lowering and lowering and lowering, like your vitamin D levels. Of course, if you have a vitamin D deficiency, March would be the month where you're very low, because it's like it's been decreasing over the month, like the past winter months, it's been decreasing. So it should be on a lower level now than the past month and the month before that. Or I don't know if that's science or whatever, but I don't know if it makes sense. But I feel like there is a reason why you're maybe not getting this energy boost that everybody else is getting. And it's probably because you're struggling with other things, and you shouldn't compare yourself to others who don't have the same challenges that you have. And it's also easy for other people to say, like, go out and use the sun, but they are not working night hours. They are not sitting at a desk and doing a desk job throughout all the sun hours. Like there might be people who are very privileged to actually be able to use the sun when it's up, while other people have to work, or while other people have to stay inside because they have other things that they need to do. And so I feel like you're maybe going to be a little bit affected by people who suddenly are, doing a lot of things and putting a lot of goals for themselves, and maybe you're going to want to hop onto that wagon, like where you want to also maybe go on a diet or something because someone else might be like going on a diet, or I don't know, that maybe you're going to be affected by someone else who might also tell you, like during this month, there might be someone who's going to tell you that they want you to go on board with them, or like that they want you to be on board with a plan, something that they want to put on you, like something something that was their idea, but they want you to be a part of it. And I don't know if it's because they, like, first I thought it was some kind of diet or workout routine that someone might call you up and ask you if you want to be a part of it, just because this person doesn't want to be alone in that journey or something. But maybe it's okay to just say no, like even if you might feel like it could be also good for you to come out or get out a little bit more and start doing something else than the things that you've been doing the past few months. That maybe a change of scenery could be good for you, but or maybe you feel that way. But I just think it could be something that could end up being a burden for you, where you feel like it's something you have to do, where you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do it. Like if someone is going to come up with some great idea that you should be running with them before work or something, but like that, nobody wants to run before they go to work. I know it's good, I know it's supposed to be very good for you, but like, yeah, they can have that for themselves. Like I feel like maybe it's okay to put limits and boundaries, and don't get into too many what's it called, don't make any promises that you can't keep, because then it's going to be something that you're going to feel guilty about if you don't go. So just be honest and upfront from the get-go. Just say that you don't really feel like it or something like that. Someone might also come up with some kind of business idea or some idea for a project that they want you to be a part of, and you just, like, if you don't feel like it, then just say so. Say that to the person. The person might get a little bit annoyed with it, but they have to cope with that. Like they can't expect you to be on board with their plan. Just don't bite over more than you can chew this month. Don't get yourself tangled into something that's hard to get out of again. I feel like it's okay to only expect yourself to do the bare minimum. Just for this month, it's okay. Like April might be a month where you get a little bit more of an energy boost. Or not, it's okay if you don't, but don't let this just let this month be a month where you take care of yourself, where you are compassionate with yourself, and where you are in acceptance of your shortcomings or the things that you can't do because you don't have the energy for it, and that's okay. It's okay, with the 9 of Cups, you have done enough, and I feel like in this month, the month of March, it's okay to sit back and relax a little bit. I think you have maybe done enough the past few months to actually allow yourself to just, relax a little bit it's okay to take a break. You can, like, you don't have to be active all the time. And you don't have to use every hour that you're at work or what, like, you have to use it in the most efficient way possible. You can relax a little bit. I feel like it's okay. And I feel like the more you're going to accept that it's okay, that you chill a little bit, the more you're going to enjoy the month of March. I feel like the message that I got in the beginning of this month being a little bit heavy, I feel like it's in your control, because you can also turn it around and say, okay, I have low energy this month. Maybe I should just use this month to relax and do the bare minimum to be comfortable, do the job that you have to do, the things that you have to do, the things that you have obligations to do them. And then just when you are, like, when you have your spare time, do the things that relax you. Don't start doing big projects while you're off work, or don't make plans with people that you don't really want to talk to. Or like if someone reaches out to you and wants to have a meeting with you, or like not a meeting but like a friend date, or I don't know what you call that, but like if an old friend reaches out to you and wants to go to a cafe with you or something, maybe say that you're a little bit busy. It's okay to just, it's okay to not go to everything that everybody suggests, because they are just suggesting something. And of course it is a little, like, I know that some people might find it to be a little bit rude, but I feel like you should also spare yourself in, like, and make sure that you're doing okay first. Like, sometimes it's best to put the safety thing first, like the thing with the mask, the safety mask on first, before you put it on on other people. Like that, it's okay to save yourself first, and then, like, after you have taken care of yourself, treated yourself and pampered yourself for this month, then maybe in April you can go out and be there for other people and start contacting other people. And yeah, maybe they will be a little bit offended that you didn't want to talk to them. But if they don't want to meet up with you in April just because you didn't want to meet up with them in March, then whatever. Like, they, like, if you make it, like, if you make it quite clear to them that the reason why you say no is because you are very low on energy, and that you have a vitamin D deficiency, or you are struggling with seasonal depression or something like that, that if you just make it clear that it's not because you don't want to see them, even though it might be that, but if you give them an excuse that's very valid, and if they get mad at you for that excuse, then they're not being a very good friend, So I just feel like it's okay to set boundaries just this month, because it's okay to relax, and okay to set boundaries, and okay to be passive sometimes, and okay to be a little bit selfish. I know it's a little bit selfish, but sometimes we need to be selfish. So yeah, I'm gonna shuffle a little bit more. So the Tower came out reversed. And so I feel like in this month, the month of March, I feel like you're actually going to avoid a Tower moment. There's not going to be a Tower moment because you're probably going to be too passive. And that's good. Because the Tower, you don't want the Tower moment to happen. The Tower moment is misfortune. It's when things go to shit. But it's a little bit divinely guided, and I get that. But it is still destruction, sabotage. It's things that get ruined. But when it's reversed, it's you making sure that it doesn't happen, so that you take control over it. You play God and take control over your own life, and you make sure that you're not biting over more than you can chew, and you don't get in situations where you could potentially end up getting hurt. And I think it's a good idea that you do the bare minimum, because you could be in risk of burning yourself out in this month. And so I feel like you need to be aware of this. You need to take care of yourself. And yeah. And with the Queen of Cups here, I think you should meditate more. Do more, maybe do some things that, and meditation can be a lot of things. Meditation can even be like listening to music, or doing something that makes you relax your mind. And if music makes you relax and makes you think about nothing at all, like if it gives you the space to completely get into complete tranquility, if you can get there by listening to music, do that. Or if it's something like if you can do that by like putting on a TV show that you've seen 10 times or something like that, where if you can watch that, like, and where you don't have to actually use your brain, but it's just like you can sit there and just watch it, and there's just complete silence, or silence to the point where there can be space enough for new ideas to come through, if that makes sense. And I think you need to get to that point where you're in, like, I feel like maybe you're in a little bit of a blockage right now, maybe both work-wise, but maybe also creatively, yeah, that maybe you, like, I don't know if some of you are writing something, but you might have been in a bit of writer's block for the past month or so, and maybe you felt like it's really hard to come up with new ideas. But I think it's maybe because you're forcing them to come through, like you're thinking so much about it, that maybe it comes through when you stop thinking about it, stop obsessing about it. Maybe you're adding too much stress to it, especially if it's something that is school related or work related. Maybe you've been, maybe you've been researching something, or like trying to write a paper or something, but you might have been postponing it for a long time, because every time you sit down, it's like like you get so stressed out that it's hard to get anywhere. But I feel like at the moment where you just relax completely, I know it's easier said than done, but if you just relax your brain, watch a television show that you've seen a bunch of times, or maybe a new one, I don't know, but like, and if you just, or if you listen to music or something, then I think it's going to make you more open to divine interference, where the spirit is gonna, like if you make space in your mind, then the spirit will penetrate that space. But if you don't have that space, because that space is too occupied with your worries and stress and things that you're like worst case scenarios and all of that, then there's no space for divine intervention. And that could also be something that, like that with the tower upright is divine intervention. When it's reversed, it could indicate that if you don't meditate, if you don't relax, there might be an idea that doesn't come through because you are not really welcoming it, like you're not open to it because of your worries, your stress, your hyper focus on something else, like that sometimes we don't see the forest for trees, and so sometimes the solution is staring us in the face, but we don't see it because maybe because we're not open to it. I don't know if that makes sense, but maybe relax a little bit more. Try to. I know it's hard, but maybe give yourself a break. Give yourself some time off where it's just for fun, where you just do something that you enjoy doing. Because that could also make you look at your work with fresh eyes. Because when you're constantly just working and working and working, and if you never stop and take a time off, like a day off or 2 days off, then you don't look at your work with fresh eyes. You just look at the work with the eyes that always have been looking at the work. Like you need to maybe recharge the battery. And yeah, so I'm going to ask about some more specific topics. So I'm going to go through career and love. So I'm going to start with love. I'm going to start with love. So what's going to happen in the month of March for you in terms of love? In terms of your love life? Okay, 10 of Wands and the Hierophant. You could be a little bit overworked again. Yeah, so you're at the verge of burning out. So maybe this is not a good time to be thinking about love. So that's understandable. I think it would have been too much, So maybe prioritize, and maybe love is just not the most important thing right now. Your mental health and your physical health and everything going on in your life, like you need to focus on yourself. And yeah, with the Hierophant here, the Hierophant is also like I was reading the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is about overburdening yourself and being like a little bit, you know, stressed out and overworked. And so this makes me think that that it's not a good time for love. With the Hierophant, I would say that maybe like if you want to do online dating or something like that, only do it if you're getting some entertainment out of it. Like if it's a little bit fun, you know, to text some men or women who are maybe, you know, like adding a little bit of color to your life. If it's giving you something, if it's a little bit hilarious, like to text some people who might have something a little bit stupid to say, and maybe you can laugh at that, and maybe you can tell some of your friends about it, and maybe you could get something good out of that. I know it's a little bit mean, but you know, if you do it in a cheerful way, where it's more about just, you know, doing it for the fun of it, or and then maybe like if love happens, then that's like a bonus. But if you do it for more fun reasons instead of for reasons where it's like you need to get it like, and this is only for those of you who are single. If you're in a relationship, that's of course not what you should do. Like don't go on like a dating site if you're in a loving relationship. So but if you're single, then maybe do it if it's fun for you, and make sure that if it starts getting a little bit stressing, if it starts stressing you out, if it starts adding to your workload, and if it makes you feel bad, or feel like it's interfering with your job, or interfering with your relaxed time, or if it's just not really adding any value to your life, or not adding any entertainment to your life, then just don't do it anymore. Like then just delete your account and get on with your life, you know. But I'm going to shuffle a little bit about your career. What's going to happen in your career in March 2024. Okay, Eight of Swords reversed. So well, I feel like your job might be a little bit free. Like you might have a job where there is a lot of freedom to it, where you might have to make your own structure, and you might be able to decide your own hours and when you check in and when you check out, and it might not be so scheduled. So maybe this is a little bit hard to find the motivation to get things done if you don't have a deadline, if you don't have people breathing down your neck. And that's okay, you know. I think a lot of people have a hard time creating their own structure. And a lot of people, a lot of people would have a hard time working a job where they have the freedom to, you know, to decide their own hours. Like it it is a slippery slope, and just be compassionate with yourself and remember that you're doing something that other people would have a hard time doing. And so pat yourself on the back for that you're able to create somewhat of a structure anyways, and you do also and remember to celebrate the things that you actually get done, because those are also worth celebrating. The things, the big milestones that you go through, like don't minimize what you do. Like, I feel like some of you might talk your job a little bit down as if it's nothing, or as if it's not that big of a deal. But I think you have a lot to be proud of. And you're doing something that a lot of people wouldn't dare to do, or wouldn't feel comfortable doing, or wouldn't be able to see themselves doing. And I feel like many of you might also work night hours or something like that, which is not for all people. Not everyone can do that. And so I think there are a lot of things that you do that you should give yourself, you should give yourself credit for it, and don't focus so much on the things that you don't get done, but focus more on the things that you actually do get done, you know. So yeah, this is the Eight of Swords. I don't know if I showed you the card, but it is reversed. And when Eight of Swords is reversed, it is about finding the trap in freedom, seeing how freedom can sometimes feel like it is, like sometimes you can have so much freedom that you feel like, yeah, so that you feel like it's a trap, that it's like you're maybe expected to fail, or you feel like people around you might expect you to fail because of the freedom, because you have to, like, I don't know if this makes sense, but just keep going and don't listen to others, and don't, like, I feel like you know what you know deep down that you're doing something great, and I think you're being humble about it because you feel like you have to be, but I don't think you need to be. I think it's okay to tell people around you that you're actually quite proud of what you do, in many ways. So, but I feel like, yeah, the Eight of Swords reversed, it's also about, you know, the downside of too much freedom. That if you have too many opportunities, too many options out there, if there's too many doors open, then how the hell are you going to choose which door you can go through, like, or that you're going to go through? Like, that it's hard sometimes when you can go, like, sometimes it's easier when there's, like, you know, a fork in the road. You can go like one way or you can go the other, and then you have to decide which one to go down, like that. And that, even though that's hard, but it's so much harder if there's 20 roads that you can go down, and you have to decide which one, and you can either hit or you can miss, you can fail or you can win something, but there's only one right answer at the end of the day, and you feel like you have a tremendous amount of pressure to choose the right one. and that everybody's going to judge you if you choose the wrong one. But I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, I think it's well. I'm gonna shuffle one more card about your career in 2020. In March 2024. Okay, Four of Cups. So well, this, I think you need to also remember to say no. Say no to things that you don't want to do. Say no to expectations. Also, like if there's something where you have to decide on something and you have maybe prolonged the process, or you have maybe postponed it, or maybe you've delayed it or whatever. I don't know. Like, yeah, there's a lot of words for the same thing, but I feel like it's okay to say no to not deciding right now, if that makes sense. That if there's if there's an important decision and you just don't really know what to do about it, and you can't decide, and you've been trying to decide it, but it just has, like, you're not closer to a decision. If you're not closer to that decision, then just don't make one. Wait more. Like, wait a little bit more. If you have to decide before a deadline, then maybe wait until next year. Even like if it's like a yearly deadline or something where there's only like a very close like a very narrow time period where you can do this one thing and you have to do it now. But like, do you have to? You could just wait. And I think maybe it's okay to wait. You can do it next year. Nothing will change if you do it next year. And it's okay to take away that worry, that the worries that are like the worries that you have around this, that you've stressed yourself out because of this thing. So just, yeah, I feel like it's okay to wait. Whatever it is, if it's a decision, then just wait. If it's something where you're going to be asked to do something at work, something where someone is going to come to you with a proposal, or not, but something that they want you to look at or want you to be a part of, if you can say no to it, if it's okay to say no, if it's just something that is, like, if it's not mandatory, if it's something that you would be doing out of your own free will, maybe the month of March is not the month where you're gonna suck up to someone. Like, it's maybe no reason, like there's no reason to suck up to someone in this month. Like, even if it's your boss, if it's your boss, even if it's someone who's over you, who might have power over your position and could potentially fire you. I know that there's maybe a lot at stake here, and maybe you feel like you have to say yes to everything that this person asks you to do or whatever, but don't feel pressured to do more than you can do. Like, you have a limit and you need to set boundaries, and it's okay to say no. So, yeah. So I think that's all I have for you, group number 2. I hope this reading was helpful, and have a great day. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And thank you for watching, and bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose the Cook's Tarot. And I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 3, the people who will choose group number 3? What's going to happen in the month of March 2024 for group number 3? There's going to be a burden lifted off your shoulders. Something is going to end, and this is going to be good, because you're going to feel like this was maybe draining too much of your energy. And I feel like you're gonna be getting some new energy in March 2024. Like there's gonna be like an energy boost happening, and it's maybe gonna be because there's something that you're gonna be leaving behind, something that you're gonna be putting some boundaries on, or like something, I don't know if this is job related or work related or family related, or I don't know, but I feel like something that has been draining your energy is somehow gonna stop. And I feel like it's maybe because you're gonna choose to prioritize your time and tell this person that this is just not working out. If it's a person who's draining your energy, I feel like there's going to be a separation or something, not necessarily a divorce, or I don't know if this is someone that you're in a relationship with, but if it's a friend, I feel like it might be good for you to kind of lift this burden off your shoulders. And I don't know, there's just a feeling here that I'm getting that you're gonna be free from something that has been draining your energy, and this is gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice to start new and be able to do things without constantly being guilt tripped into believing that you're not supposed to do it. That you're supposed to show solidarity to this person. Like I feel like it is a person. I don't think it's job related or work related. I feel like, or maybe it is for some of you, but I feel like mostly I'm getting the sense that someone has been very clingy and been very obsessed on getting your attention about something, where this person has constantly been texting you, calling you, made you know that you were the only one that they could trust with all this information, but maybe you felt like that was really not the privilege that this person was making it out to be, like that it was more of a burden for you to have to be the one listening to this person's problems and being the only one that this person confided in. I don't know if this makes sense to you, but I feel like you're gonna be freeing yourself from this, or this person might just end up choosing a different target, someone else that this person is going to be bothering with their problems. So maybe if you stop showing this person the attention that this person is seeking, then maybe they will just find someone who can. And all the bullshit about you being the only one that this person trusted, that was bullshit. And this is going to be proven, because this person is going to find someone else, that they are gonna be saying all the same things too. And so this was more like a tactic to make you feel like you had to listen to this person, that there was no way out of it, that you would be a dick if you didn't listen. I feel like this person might also have guilt-tripped you into feeling shitty if you did something selfish or did something that was only for you, or like something where you were having fun. Like if you, like I feel like I'm not sure if this is too specific, but I feel like some of you were maybe going on a trip, and then you might have decided not to go because this person guilt-tripped you into feeling like you couldn't go on a vacation while they were right in the middle of a divorce, or right in the middle of like a big thing in their life that was terrible for them, or while they were at the hospital or something, that you should just put your life on pause because they were going through something hard and they needed your support, and that you should be that you should show solidarity to their situation by not doing anything fun while they were, you know, in the state that they were in. And I feel like this is something that you're going to be removing yourself from in some way. Or maybe it's just not going to be so so urgent in the month of March, where maybe you're going to be relieved from this in a natural way, where you don't actually have to confront this person about it. But I don't know, but I feel like you're going to have a break from this, where you're going to be able to, you know, live your life and maybe even do some of the things that you used to enjoy doing before all this shit went down, like things that you might not have, the things that you haven't allowed yourself to do because you felt like that person or someone was not allowing you to do so, or that you felt like that they were watching you or breathing down your neck and not really allowing you to just live your life. Or like, I feel like I feel like you have just been controlled by an energy that was very controlling. And I think it's good that you're getting out of this energy and removing yourself and freeing yourself and starting to live your life for you and not for someone else. And yeah, I don't know if it made sense for all of you, but this was a message that came through in the channeling. I'm going to shuffle the cards. Okay. With the Nine of Pentacles, I feel like you're going to be more independent in the month of March. You're going to be living your life for you. You're going to be more focused on just doing the things that you enjoy doing. And like this woman here who's just living her best life, eating candy, reading a book, like drinking a glass of wine and petting her cat and just having like a wholesome good time alone with herself. And maybe you're going to have like a time where you're going to be allowing yourself to just do things that are a little bit selfish, but you know, it's not really selfish. It's what everybody does. But maybe you've been guilt tripped into believing that every time you're just having a good time all by yourself, that somehow that's wrong, that you should be, you know, that you should be unhappy just because other people are unhappy, that it's some kind of collective unhappiness that everybody has to be under, like that. I don't know if you also come from a family where if one person is depressed, everybody has to be depressed or something, that nobody can make a joke if someone if someone depressed is in the room, because that somehow is like flipping the finger at them, like, or whatever. It's kind of twisted, and I don't think I don't know if it's too specific to resonate with all of you, but I don't know. But I think you're gonna actually start enjoying yourself more in the month of March. With the Ace of Pentacles reversed, well, maybe financially you're gonna be a little bit less, maybe a little bit less frugal as you have been the past few months. But maybe that's because you haven't really been spending any money. Maybe because you felt like every time you spent money, you had to feel bad because of the people who don't have money, that you don't want to brag about your money to others by spending your money on something. Or maybe if you have been like, you know, if you've been dependent on someone else financially, then maybe you felt like you couldn't really, you know, I don't know, like that's like maybe that's a message for a few of you. I don't think that's for all of you, but if you have been a little bit dependent on someone else, or maybe you've borrowed some money from someone, and maybe you felt like since you had borrowed that money, you couldn't really do anything like before you had paid that person back, because if you spent money on something in the meantime, then it would send off the message that you're not like. And I get that. I think we all understand that. Like it's never fun to borrow money to someone who's just out there, like posting a lot of pictures on Facebook that they are out at festivals and parties and having a good time, and you're like, where's my money? But so I get that, but I feel like this person might also have been kind of mean about it, where maybe they actually were the ones suggesting that they borrowed you the money, and maybe even kept forcing it after you said that you really didn't want to. But and so maybe this person didn't even borrow you the money. Maybe they gave you the money because they wanted to, and maybe don't feel bad about using money or spending money that someone else gave you. But I don't know what this is about. I don't know. But of course, you're maybe going to be a little bit more frugal in this month. Maybe because you're going to be removing yourself from the person who might have been helping you out financially, because there were too many strings attached anyways, so it wasn't really, you know, worth it at the end of the day. If you're going to have to listen to it all the time, if you're going to be constantly reminded of it at every hour of the day, then it's not really what you want. And so I don't know, I feel like that's a specific message for some of you, but yeah, I feel like it's okay. I feel like you're actually going to have a good time in the month of March, even if you're going to be a little bit more frugal and think a little bit more about the money that you spend on certain things. But I think you're still going to be, you're going to have a nice month. And I think you're going to be very creative. You're going to be doing things that you had forgotten about how fun it actually is to do certain things, like, or maybe not forgotten, but it might be something where the past few months it might have felt like it was boring and flavorless and pointless to do these things, where it felt like it didn't really make sense to you, maybe because you were kind of stressed out and worried, and maybe you were being like, maybe you were a little bit depressed because of the whole situation. And so maybe some of the things that you used to enjoy didn't really feel very enjoyable in this time. And I think this is going to change. You're going to be enjoying things again, and maybe also getting more of an appetite for life. Maybe also more appetite for like where maybe before you've felt like you couldn't really eat anything. Maybe you're going to be able to eat again, and maybe also feel your body a little bit more, where maybe before you felt a little bit detached from your body, where you felt like you couldn't really tell what your body needed from you at certain times, or I don't know. I think it's just gonna be better. A better month, a much brighter month. It's gonna feel good. With the Queen of Swords reversed, I think you're gonna be a little bit less in your head and more in your feelings. You're gonna feel your body more, first of all. You're gonna, because I feel like you've been so hyper focused on something else that you haven't, that your brain has been on overdrive, constantly overthinking the things that you've been doing the past few months, and also feeling like you've had to bite over more than you could chew in the past few months, where there's been a lot of things that you couldn't really handle, but you had to handle them anyways. And maybe you've been prioritizing so many things at once and had so little time for yourself that you maybe not stopped to think about how you felt about the things that were going on. And maybe you were playing the hero and maybe also being put in the hero role by some other people who expected you to be the hero, who especially if it's some kind of family tragedy that has been occurring in the past few months. If that is what you've been going through, then I feel like maybe you've felt like people were putting you in a role where you were supposed to be the one who had it all together, who were the one that you were, maybe because you don't show emotions that easily, or because you always keep your cool or something in a tough situation. Everybody might have expected you to be the one keeping everything going and like making sure that everybody was comfortable and that you were the one who had to be the hero. And maybe it's going to be a time now where you're going to take off that cape and just allow yourself to be you, and allow yourself to be a little bit selfish, and that your life is supposed to keep going, and you're gonna have to you're gonna have to live your life for you at this point. And I think you've done your duty here, and it's okay to leave that behind and start focusing more on yourself and getting into your feelings, because maybe there might be some feelings that you have been suppressing during this time, where you haven't really allowed yourself to feel. So I think that could be good to get that out. And I think you're gonna, I don't know if you're gonna allow yourself to get more vulnerable around just yourself. Like, I'm not saying that you need to be vulnerable around other people, but if you can maybe, like, it could be, you could be in need of a little bit of a cry, like crying a little bit over some of the things that have been going on, especially if you haven't cried during this time, like especially if it's some kind of family tragedy, then it might have been really hard for you, and maybe you don't even realize what an effect it has had on you until you allow yourself to just let it go, you know. So yeah, I'm going to shuffle a little bit more about what's going to happen in March. Okay. 10 of Cups reversed. You need to maybe it could be good for you to take a little bit of time to maybe remove yourself a little bit from your family, just a little bit, and maybe focus on yourself. Yeah, because I feel like, even though I know they need you and whatever, but I think you have already, yeah, as I said before, you've done your duty. You can remove yourself a little bit. And so with the 3 of Pentacles, I think it could be a good idea for you to spend the March month on something educational. And this could also have to do with your job. I don't know, but I feel like if you are studying right now, I don't know, but I feel like focusing a little bit on that, because I feel like you could actually be very productive if you just took that energy that you've poured into this situation that has been going on for the past few months. If you pour that energy into something related to your school or your work, I think you could get something productive out of it. I think you could also, like, I feel like you have a lot of creative energy right now. You like right now you could really get into some very creative solutions to problems, like if you're in like IT or engineering, or I don't know if what field you're working in. It could be anything, I know that, but I feel like you have a great way of problem solving, and I think right now you're in a time period, especially during the month of March, I feel like you're very creative, and you could very easily come up with very creative solutions to problems that you might have been sitting around with for a long time without really figuring out the solution, because you might have been so worried about whatever's been going on. And I think it's just that if you just use this creative energy that's coming through right now, I feel like this could also be used in a book, like writing a book, or painting a painting, or doing some paper mache, or I don't know. I feel like it would be good to put that creative energy to use. But I feel like also doing something educational, where you might like share your knowledge about something. Like there might be something that you've been thinking about for a long time, where you might have wanted to, make some tutorials or something. I don't know. Maybe online, maybe on YouTube. I know it's very specific, so it's only for a few of you, but maybe this is a good idea. Maybe you're in a creative phase right now, and creating something could be brilliant. So creating a tutorial could be brilliant. So with the 7 of Cups reversed, I feel like don't make any promises that you can't keep. And don't make too many plans though. Like, I feel like I don't know if this is a good message, but I feel like there is a lot going on here, and a lot that you need to heal from as well. And I don't know if, like, I feel like even though I'm sensing a very productive energy here, and you could get a lot done in this month, but you don't have to though. Like, you can also just chill and relax and spend this month like this woman here, like just enjoying life. And that's just as good, play some Sims, or something like that. Do something brainless, like some brainless activity that you might have really enjoyed doing back when you were younger. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe just allow yourself to heal from this, because I feel like this has also been a tough thing that you've been going through. And even though, yeah, you're gonna get some energy boost, but don't feel like you have to spend it on something practical, because you can just spend it on something that you find fun. Because before I felt like you couldn't even find the energy to do something fun. So already here we're actually seeing progress, because you're actually at a time or at a place in your life where you're actually starting to get back in the enjoyment and not feeling guilty of enjoying your life, which no one should feel. Like, no one should feel guilty for laughing or, or smiling, or like, but there are some people who will see someone who's smiling and want to want to wipe that smile right off their face. And I feel like you might have been surrounded by people like that who have been very miserable and wanting everyone else to be miserable too, just because they were. And I feel like you're gonna be doing better in March, and you're gonna have a burden lifted off your shoulders. I can really tell that. And it's gonna be a good feeling to remove yourself and allow yourself to just live your life. So I guess I'm gonna ask, because I did this with the other groups. I asked about something more specific, and so I asked about career and love, and I'm gonna do that too in this reading. So I'm gonna ask about, first of all, love. I'm gonna ask what's gonna happen in your love life in March 2024. Ace of Wands reversed. I feel like you're maybe not gonna feel that much. I don't think you're gonna feel that you need to be in a relationship right now, or like maybe you've just gotten out of one recently, or like maybe you were dating someone maybe, or that you realized was more of a burden than they were an asset to you. So maybe that's the whole thing that you're going to be removing, and I don't know, but I feel like maybe in the month of March you're going to be more focusing on just having a good time with yourself and doing the things that you want to do, doing the things that used to make you happy and make you joyful. And I don't think you're going to want to compromise on that by getting into a relationship with someone or getting into the dating game. And I think, like, I'm just sensing that you're maybe not even going to be feeling that attracted to anyone, or like there's just not going to be the attraction, and there's not going to be like a feeling of needing that sexual energy in your life. Maybe you're kind of tired of that a little bit right now. Like maybe you're fed up with whatever you have. I feel like you might have had that and separated from it recently, and so maybe it's just not really on your mind right now. So I'm going to shuffle about your career, what's going to happen in your career in March. Okay, Knight of Cups and King of Cups and Four of Pentacles and Knight of Wands. With the Knight of Wands, I'm sensing that there's going to be, a creative energy, new ideas coming through. When it comes to your career, I think you're going to be building on a new idea, like something new is going to come through. And I think this is going to happen because you're going to allow some space for it to happen in. Like, I feel like as soon as you start relaxing a little bit and start becoming more comfortable in this selfish energy where you're just focusing on yourself, not allowing someone to keep contacting you all the time, and kind of removing yourself from this whole situation that has been draining you. As soon as you allow space in your mind for something else to come through, I think you're actually going to get a great idea for a business opportunity or something that you want to do, something that you want to create in terms of your career. And I think it's going to be a great idea. And yeah, it could also have something to do with something more intuitive, with the Knight of Cups, something where you use your intuition, or something where you make something else more intuitive. I don't know, like making some software intuitive, just to keep that idea of you maybe being in IT. But I know that maybe some of you are in complete other fields. Maybe you're even in the same field as me, like, doing readings or doing tarot or something like that. If you are, then I feel like that's a great idea to maybe move forward with that. With a Four of Pentacles, I am sensing that you're maybe going to keep it a little bit for yourself, which is also okay. That maybe while you're working on some project that is going to be helping your career in the future, you might not want to share it with others. And I think this is a good strategy, because if you start sharing it with too many people, people will start having an opinion about it, and you need to remove yourself from that opinion. And you can't have someone shit on your parade. You can't have someone tell you that this is a bad idea, because then you're not going to want to do it. Like, then you're going to get discouraged. So it's just about trusting that you have a good vision, that you have a good idea, and then just, starting the process, start creating it, make it happen without consulting anyone about it, especially not family or friends. Maybe consulting someone who's a professional in it, but not someone that you know in real life, or like maybe someone on the internet, but no one in your circle of people. Like, so yeah. And that's good. It's good. It's good that you're going to keep it a little bit private, because that's how that's a good way to preserve it. And yeah. So yeah. And maybe you're also going to let it, like, maybe you're going to wait a little bit before making it official, or like starting, like making the last steps of it. Like, if it's something that needs to be published, maybe you're not going to publish it in March, but maybe also because it's maybe going to be in the beginning stages of it, where you're going to be wanting to do it so well that you're going to feel like you have to be happy with it before you publish it. And I think that's good also to make sure that you're happy with it. It doesn't matter what other people think, but it does matter that you're comfortable with publishing it. And yeah, but don't get to the point where you're going to be so restrictive of this content that you're going to be putting a lock on it, so that you can't get, like, so that no one can get through to it, because that's not gonna. I feel like you actually have a gift, you have a talent, and you owe this talent the light of day. Like, you owe this. You have like a. You need to put this out there. Of course, you can take you can take all the time that you need, but just make sure that you actually make this a reality at some point, because I think people need to know about your talent, and you owe it to this talent as well to put it out there. So I think that's all I have for you. Group number 3, I hope this reading was helpful, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye.